Hey guys, this is Will here from RIF REV. So what I'm going to be talking about today is actually part one of two, and it's referring to what I call Z syndrome. So that's talking about hyper-flexion both at the knee and also at the hips. But today I'm going to be focusing on the knee. Before I go on further, I just want to mention what I mean by Z syndrome. So Z syndrome for me is when you sink at the hips and also at the knees, you start to sink down as a runner, and this is that Z shape. And that's something you don't want to have as a runner. It's a shape you start to show when you get tired, and when you start to sink at the knees and hips, that's when the pressure increases, and that's when you have to work extra hard. So first I'm going to be talking about the knee, because there are a lot of injuries that can come from hyperflexion. So when I see people running when they're tired, often their knee bends down to about 120 degrees. But when you run, you want it to be about 150 degrees. There are a few rules I have personally to maintain that. One of them is, if I look down at my shoelaces and I can't see them, that means my knees are too bent. So that's one rule that I have. Another rule that I have is, if you think sideways on, is I want to keep my knees fairly aligned with my hips. If anything, they might be just slightly in front of them, but generally I want them to be fairly aligned. Whereas you'll see some people with their knees way in front of their hips, and that's when they start to sink down. So you want to be quite tall, and that helps you as well to straighten up right through the centre part of your body and be more efficient as a runner. So straight away, we're looking at making sure that we can't see our shoelaces, that we've got that good alignment. Another really crucial thing with the knees as well is making sure we really relax our thighs. You'll see with any elite runner that they're super relaxed through their thighs, and if you're not relaxed through your thighs, that's what causes their knees to lock. And that prevents you from absorbing that pressure and increases that pressure that happens at the knee and increases the chances of you gaining inflammation. So there's loads of injuries that we get at the knees. You know, there's runner's knees, that can be patello-femoral joint pain, patello-femoral joint syndrome, it can be cartilage issues, meniscal issues, but all of those things generally cause some similar sorts of wear and tear. And you can prevent that by relaxing your knees better, by relaxing your thighs, but also as well having that good alignment. The term I use is soft knees. So I said relaxed knees before. What I mean is soft knees, and it's almost like a little bit of a shudder that you'll feel when you hit the ground. You'll see a 100-meter runner, when they sprint, you'll almost see their muscles going up and down because they're super relaxed. That's how you should feel with that knee as well, like almost like a little bit of a shudder. A common mistake that runners make as well is when they hit the ground is that their knee will actually drop in an angle when they hit the ground. So when it does that, that as well causes that locking, and you'll see that with continued effort, and it adds that pressure as well as causing that increase in pain. What you want to try and think about is when your knee hits the ground, that angle isn't reducing, that it's staying fairly similar, if anything, coming back slightly. So when you run, you're trying to keep that good alignment, they're nice and relaxed, and that's going to help prevent against that increase in pain at the knee. So that's the first part of two, guys, in preventing Z syndrome. We don't want to see any Zs when we run, guys. We want to be quite tall and fairly straight through this area for our entire run, staying in good alignment and preventing all of that influx in pressure and forces in our joints. So this is Will from RIF REV. Check us out at www.rifrev.com. Thanks, guys.